back to the Independent Republic of Mike Graham right here on Talk TV. If Brexit depends on Johnson, as Heseltine thinks, then the Tory party is utterly useless, but we all knew that anyway, says Jonathan. I don't think Lord Heseltine, as he's now known, should be paid too much attention to. I mean, he's obsessed with the European Union and nothing else. And he's the guy who said, of course, if Boris Johnson goes, so does Brexit. Well, that's not going to happen, quite plainly. Even Keir Starmer has now said that he supports Brexit. Joyce says, great to hear Steve. Seems to me he's the only decent candidate. None of this vile cabinet should be elected. Well, I mean, Steve Baker's certainly got an awful lot of support from around the country. He's seen very much as a grassroots Tory. He's seen very much as a proper Conservative, somebody who wants to be the party of low tax, the party of immigration control, the party that will do what, in fact, it says on the tin. If you're a Conservative voter, those are the things you want. Let's talk to Rachel in Bristol. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, you all right?
Yeah, very well. What can I do for you?
Yes, so I'm absolutely fuming
Are you?
about the situation. Because
Right.
Boris was the only one who listened to us with Brexit. And also, I know he lies, but they all lie.
Yeah, I mean, at least you know that he lies. You don't have to check it. You know that he does it. You don't have to worry about the others who you don't know lie.
That's it. You know what you're getting. And, like, as for Labour, I would never vote for them or the Conservatives now.
Right.
So I'm left with no one.
So you think that because Boris is gone, there's nobody that can fill his shoes then?
Well, no. And before Boris, it was Theresa May, David Cameron. They haven't had a Prime Minister. That finished their term.
So what are you going to do if they... I mean, I don't think there's going to be an election for a couple of years, but, I mean, it's going to be a pretty strange summer, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I know I'm not the only one who feels like I'm not going to vote. There's no one to vote for. It was disgusting what Labour done when we voted to leave.
Yes.
And they voted against it. It was our vote.
Yes. No, I take your point, Rachel. Thanks for calling. Rachel in Bristol is fuming, she says, about what's happened. Doesn't want Boris Johnson to go. An awful lot of people will be feeling like that. You know, it is sometimes only the kind of metropolitan elites and, of course, many in the media who think that it's a great day. You heard all those bozos booing Boris as he was making his speech. I thought he made a rather gracious speech. Let's talk to James in London. Hi, James.
Hiya, Mike. How are you, fella?
Yeah, very good, sir. What can I do for you?
Oh, Mike, do you know what? I feel like I'm in an alternative reality here because we've got Sakia Weiner basically going, I'm going to do a motion of no confidence.
Yeah.
But I'd like to ask the Labour leader, Sakia, have you had a fixed penalty notice from Durham Police with your deputy? And are you appealing it? And have you put a super injunction out so we can't talk about it, Kia?
Well, he hasn't, so I can answer that one for you. They haven't announced anything yet. I know that there's a lot of people who seem to think that that has happened, and some rather what I would call irresponsible types in the media have been promoting that idea because they like conspiracy theories. But no, the Durham Police have not issued any fines because they haven't yet made the decision.
But, Mike, what I'd like to say is, there's all, you know, with the Tory party and the traitors that have stabbed the Prime Minister in the back, we know who you are. We know what calibre of people you are. We do not want anything to do with you. The people have stuck with the Prime Minister. And, Mike, I would love to have another woman Prime Minister, whether it be Angela Lettsom or Priti Patel, because I tell you what, they're the only ones with a set of cojones that can take on those traitorous gits.
Yes. So you'd like to see Priti Patel there, then?
Yes, I would, Mike. I would love to see Priti Patel to have the full power to actually, as the Prime Minister, to get in there, to deal with those treacherous civil servants and actually tell them, you do what the elected government tells you to do, not what you European and Labour paymasters are telling you to do.
Yes, I think we've got that message loud and clear, James. James, not happy. Many of you not happy that Boris Johnson has been forced to resign. But you've got to remember, as much as there are people out to get him, it doesn't obviously necessarily mean that he doesn't deserve to be got, if you know what I mean. Because some of the things that he allowed himself to be got for were his own undoing. Matthew's in Bolton. Hi, Matthew.
Yeah, afternoon, Mike.
Afternoon, sir. What can I do for you?
Yeah, just wanted to cover the attempt to change the rules to have another vote of no confidence. Has that been kiboshed now he's resigned?
Well, I think now that he's resigned, it's not necessary for them to do it. I mean, I'd be surprised if they went ahead with it now.
And where that idea was coming from is not right, because that isn't... You change the rules to suit the outcome you want.
No, I mean, that smells a bit like people who wanted a second referendum, doesn't it?
Correct.
You know.
Exactly. So they've not covered themselves in glory there, any of these other... I mean, I don't know where the suggestion came from, but it's been going around the media 24/7, hasn't it?
I mean, I suspect that what was going on, and we can now say that it was going on because this is what's happened, was they were trying to pressurise Boris Johnson into knowing that, you know, if you really hang around for too long, this is what will happen, and then you'll be forced out, and it might be better to do it the way he did it. I thought he made a very gracious speech today.
Yeah, the only thing is, Mike, this sets precedents for somebody in the future who is voted in again, that Parliament don't want in, and then Parliament remove him as opposed to the people removing.
Yeah, no, I take that as a good point that you're making. I mean, the trouble for me is that Boris Johnson could have avoided all of this. You know, I've said this before. I know that there was always going to be a time when he kind of just went too far. But to conduct himself in the way that he has in recent times, and particularly with the Pincher saga, you know, he could have just nipped that right in the bud at the beginning and said, look, we made a mistake, we shouldn't have employed him, we thought we'd give him another chance, we were wrong, he did something that we didn't think he would do. That's the end. You know, people would have gone, OK, you know, you made a mistake, people would have accepted that, but instead he pretended and he put people out to say things that weren't true, and, you know, in the end, that's what got him.
He's reached what he saw. I've got a wildcard, Mike, a wildcard Dream Team ticket.
Go on.
So Mike Graham and Kevin O'Sullivan.
Well, listen, that would be fun. I'm not quite sure how long we'd last, probably less time than Boris Johnson, but good idea, Matthew, thank you. Myself and Kevin O'Sullivan back, of course, on Saturday night. We'll be talking to Kevin tomorrow about all of that. Pat's in London. Hi, Pat.
Hello, Mike.
What do you reckon, Pat?
Well, look, what Boris should have done, as soon as he got into number 10, and what I would have done, was put back the treason laws were taken away by Tony Blair in 1998. That would have crushed the Remainers wanting to get another referendum. That's what I would have done, and put it on the statute books that it can never be taken off again. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
That would have crippled the Remainers and all this for good. Because if they'd have wanted to do that, they'd have been in breach of the law and be put inside. So
you need a pretty big jail, though, wouldn't you?
Well, you just build some more. Work,
I've been saying that for years.
Work for somebody, innit?
Yeah, well, I've been saying that for years. But I mean, here's the thing: I wouldn't pay any attention, right, to those people out there, and there'll be plenty of them right now saying, "Oh, you know, now we got rid of Boris Johnson, we can get rid of Brexit." No, that's not happening.
No, that's what should happen. And even in the new administration, whoever takes over, man or woman, that should be their first job. And I'll tell you what, Mike, you put it to them, so that that destroys the Brexit thing forever, or for at least for the next 50 years at least.
Yeah.
So as I said to your producer as well, what done Boris, in my opinion, was, all right, the first lockdown, nobody really knew what it was going on, what the disease was like.
Yes.
But in the big one, in that from November the 5th right to around to 2020, right round to July of 2021, he should have pushed back against that, and he should have told Whitty and Valence to, you know, get out.
Get lost. I agree. I totally agree with you. But unfortunately, Pat, thanks very much indeed. We'll have to leave it there because we're nearly at the end of the show. I mean, Ian Collins is picking up very shortly. But at the end of the day, Boris Johnson proved himself to be somebody who was a populist, but who also wanted to be popular. And so, you know, he went along with things perhaps he didn't always agree with, and now he's had to go. Maybe he might regret not doing some things that he should have done. Ian Collins is here. Another day of drama.
Yeah, well, what's happened?
well, you might well ask.
It's a huge day of drama, isn't it? I was a bit disappointed with that resignation. There wasn't really much in there. I was expecting something to kind of get our teeth into. I didn't leave it thinking, oh, I actually feel for this guy, or, oh, my goodness, there's a load of stuff there I'm going to miss. I'm just now chomping at the bit thinking, bring me the next Prime Minister.
Yes.
I don't want to hang around. I don't want this nonsense till August, September, October. No. Let's get it done next week, bang in the bag.
I mean, it's only July, right? This idea that because they have a recess that goes on forever, that somehow nothing changes for months.
I don't care about their recess. Let's
Don't go on holiday.
Don't go on holiday. We need a prime minister of
Yeah.
the country. It's rudderless at the moment.
Yeah.
He's going to be there. He's weak. He's curtailed. He can't do anything now, really, with any sort of authority. It's a box-ticking exercise. So he's got this cabinet. Honestly, we do this for a living. I don't even know who's in it.
No.
You know, I'm looking around. I'm seeing names I've never heard of in my life. I'm speaking to people at Westminster who are saying this could be a car crash if this isn't nipped in the bud really, really quickly. And so the game begins, doesn't it? I heard the betting guy that you had on earlier on looking at those odds.
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace, yeah. I'm not so sure there. I think he's a good guy, by the way. I think he's a superb defence secretary. Not sure he could make it a big job.
Well, I mean, no more Boris, but except for another 3 months. It's a strange one. Ian Collins taking over right now. Don't forget, Piers Morgan from 4 o'clock this afternoon for 6 hours. There's lots going on. We'll see you tomorrow.